Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized.
Whoa.
If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize.
Okay.
Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis. Controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control all the political parties.
What is going down, world? Welcome to the 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. I go by the name Black Pegasus, and we are about to react to the one and only MACDONALD Sheeple. His new music video, Sheeple, is out now. And from the first 23 seconds, kind of going crazy, I guess. Did I hear what I think I heard? All right, well, let's dive into it, you guys. Before we get this started, don't forget to like, share, and comment on all of the content. If you're really rocking with the vibe, subscribe. Trying to get to 50,000 subs. We're almost there. Without further ado, 40-year-old FUQ boys. I'm your favorite one, Black Pegasus. Let's go.
40-year-old fuck boys are back in town. 40. Boys are back in town. 40-year-old fuck boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. Malt liquor for your ears. 40.
All right, you guys, and just like that, I'm back, and apparently so is MACDONALD. Yikes. So he has a song called Sheeple. Love the title, especially coming out of this crazy pandemic. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. I like Tom. I did this interview the other night, and a lot of people hate on Tom, but a lot of people love him, too. He's really big. They say it's controversial, but I'm like, he says a lot of truth. I'm like, the truth is controversial? What the heck? Anyways, let's get into this. I don't want to make any judgments before I actually listen to the lyrics. Before we start, don't forget on my channel, I just dropped a Cool Harry Mac reaction with Afro, All Flows Reach Out. That's R.A. the Rugged Man's protege. It's super dope reaction and interview. And then I also have that cool interview with Tech 9 on the channel. It's kind of blowing up. There's also a Harry Mac reaction. We've been doing a bunch of freestyle rap stuff on the channel. So check out some of that stuff if you get a chance, if you're new here. All right. Without further ado, let's get this thing started. I want to turn this up, bang it in the speaker so I can really hear what's going on. All right. This is MACDONALD Sheeple. Bah.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis.
All right, we got to dive into it quick, man. She said so much at the beginning. Yes, there have been political powers or the elitists or whoever you want to call them that have been controlling our societies from the jump. And it seems like they're just getting better at it almost by keeping us divided. Now, the hardest line in here, he said, let's go back. Black people who weren't actually slaves. There's a little nuance to that.
Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis.
So he said black folks who were never actually slaves fighting with white folks who were never actual Nazis. And I think there's some very depth to that because I think there's a lot of truth in that. And some people get mad when I say that, like, because I have these conversations on this channel, and that's a really deep one. Now, I don't know how deep I want to get on this because I want to hear the whole song, but there's truth to that. Like, I've never been a slave. My dad was never a slave. However, my dad's 71, and he dealt with the civil rights movement and all of the things that were horrendous back in the 60s. So there's like some complexity here that, you know, some people get triggered on the right if I'm like, yo, there's all this nonsense that went on in the 60s, there's racism, but then some people on the left would get upset when I say, yo, racism isn't what they're pushing to us currently, which it's not. And I think that's what he's trying to exemplify here. It's like, look, we're all people, and we're not currently in this state. Now, if you have lineage, if your family had lineage to slavery and certain things happened, like, I understand why people would argue like, hey, well, my family was promised this at this time for the work put in. We want that. That's totally understandable to me. However, a bunch of people asking for something, just trying to claim, yo, I'm in this bracket. It's interesting. Also, we're in the land of opportunity. I'm getting off on a rant. Let's go. Let's listen to the song. But we are in the land of opportunity, and sometimes this type of thinking can hold each group back. Like even, if you're on some white supremacy stuff, that will hold you back in the long run, just like having thought process of like, yo, I'm owed this, because none of us are owed anything in life, period. That's just how life works. None of us are owed anything. We got lucky that we were born in America, first of all. So you got to take advantage of that as it is. But then I get doo-dooed on. People like, you're a coon. Anyway.
Controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, deep on the police.
That's fact. They want us to battle. They want a battle royale in the streets right now so they can start locking up people with certain ideas. And the social credit scores coming down the pipelines. Y'all are seeing that with Kanye and Chase Bank, blah, blah, blah. It's all right in front of us right now.
There's big crime to take away our freedom, to restore order they let die. Play with people, turn men into women, make the counterculture mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns. If gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free, can't have no peace till...
All right, he went crazy on that verse. There's a lot in there. But since I talked too long at the beginning, let's vibe. Let's hear this hook.
We're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Blue to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems. Hollywood been rotting your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleek, bet, cap. They trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout.
It's crazy too, because these stereotypes that are driven in, let's say, the black community, my community, a lot of times are driven by Hollywood. But then Hollywood wants to be like, yo, this matters, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of these stereotypes that are driven on the big screen perpetuate in real life, and they're not good for the community. It's just crazy talk.
That's on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree, it's free speech. Disagree, it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery.
You know what's crazy, you guys? I didn't even realize, right? Within the last 4 years, I found out like the Democratic Party was the party of slavery and the KKK and stuff like that. Then they're like, oh, they switched. But when you go down the rabbit hole, I didn't even know any of this stuff until the last 4 years of my life. And I'm just like, wow, they're playing us. Like in general, both sides, because the other thing is both sides are in with the globalists. That's what's crazy. The Republicans and the Democrats are in bed with the globalists. That's facts. But anyways, yeah, man, the Republican Party had the first black senators, the first black congressmen. This is all recorded. I think it took 50 years for the Democratic Party to get their first black a congressman or congresswoman, or it's crazy. Go down the rabbit hole. It's nuts. Yeah, he's spitting some truth here. He's dropping a couple bombs right here. Oh, what did he say about hate speech? He said, if you agree, that's free speech. If you disagree, that's hate speech. And it's so interesting that we cannot have public debate anymore, or broad conversations currently on the internet. I hope it changes, because we're all speaking out on it, but that's a great point he brought up there.
It's been politicized, it's easy to see. A mask became a symbol of which side you believe. But you'll never cure a sickness till you cure the greed, because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free.
Natural immunity has been proven to be the best. It has been proven, but I won't say too much so I don't get banned from YouTube again. Oh, and look at the mask data. He's saying some truth here.
Society is broken, want you locked inside a cubicle, addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful, then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Blue to screens just part of the machine. Y'all are sheeple. What do y'all believe? Oh my sheeple. Nothing's what it seems.
Okay, I'm not sold on the hook, you guys. I'm not sold on the hook personally. Like, I like what he's saying in the hook, but the way it's delivered, personally, but I have heard enough Tom MacDonald to know this is kind of his sound. Man, he has a song where he says, make America, like he has a red ski mask, I think it says make America hate again or something. That hook is the type of hooks I really like from him. Is like, it's all uppity, but that's just preference. Music is subjective, right? But I just had to put that out there. But he's saying so much stuff on this joint. I'm actually losing track of all the different stuff. It's just like back to back. And it's funny because all of it to me is just common sense what he's saying. However, when I say this on my platform or to other people, I'm a crazy man. So interesting.
If they can't convince you, they confuse you. They want you dumb and dead. They divided you by race, religion, income, and sex. Made everybody right and left. The hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head. And the conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation. The system.
Conspiracy theories tend to be right.
Treating you like trash and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1984 was his last lecture. George called them thought police. Now we call them fact checkers. Governments.
Fact checker is funded by Big Pharma.
Aliens trying to catch you, they don't ask questions. Mass incarceration equals capital for cash investors. The system isn't broke, it's working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't teach you rights in school, you never learn them at all. Cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones. So they force you into corners till you're breaking the law. We can't be free. No peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Blue to screens just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep.
So in the hook, he's saying we can't be free until we're on the same team, which is the concept of America, United States. We're supposed to be united, and basically they've divided us, and people are sheeple just following their particular group or team, right? We all pick teams, the red, the blue team, and this is why we can't actually be free, and we're losing our freedoms at an astounding rate right now. If you guys aren't paying attention, they're flying out the window while we're arguing amongst each other about all this nonsense, which the nonsense is, it's all planned. Pandemics everywhere.
What do y'all believe? Oh my sheep.
You know what? I did a couple of songs not similar, they're in their own vein, but speaking this type of truth. One of them on my channel, it's Black Pegasus, Freedom of Speech. But if you look it up, I first put it out as anti-vaxxer rapper, and it got 22,000 views, and then YouTube was like, nah, homie, we're gonna, like, it won't get any views unless people are like literally like playing it in front of other people. And it's so interesting because I did that joint, and then I have another one called Black Pander that talks a lot about this type of subject matter, what he's speaking on. If you guys want to check it out on the channel, it's there for you. Black Pegasus, Black Pander, and then look up Freedom of Speech or anti-vaxxer rapper.
Nothing's what it seems.
Yeah, and his girl Nova Rockefeller, she's getting way better at music videos. Like, I'm getting like this I Am Legend type of vibe, because they're like the white machines, but it's also like a play on these other movies, kind of like the Matrix. I'm feeling like, even though they're not plugged in like they are on the Matrix, but that's what I feel like when you say sheeple and stuff like that. That's kind of what I feel. But I mean, I like Tom, man. A lot of my homies be getting mad, like, man, come on, bro, blah blah. But dude, I like Tom, bro. He's dope. I think he's spitting some facts on there. I do think this. I want to say this. Some of the stuff, there's a little more depth when you're putting in a rap song. There's a lot of truth there, but I think there's a little more complexity to certain things, and I think with race, that gets really in depth because there's so much more to, like, let's say we all understand the slave trade and how horrific those times were and how that ripple affected into, the segregation and all these other things, Jim Crow. But, we're at this weird point where I think we should be able to address that with logic and critical thinking. But instead of that, we address it with that's the end all be all. And this country is so horrible because of these things. And there's just so much complexity to it to build upon, because I can't leave out the people who've gone through the pain or who've dealt with certain things in their life. You know, even like my dad, he's 71 and he literally, you know, like the civil rights movement was going on while he was alive. So he saw things that, you know, if he speaks about or, you know, talks about, we can't just brush it under the rug and say, yo, that didn't happen. It doesn't exist now. It's like things we want to address, but critically and logically and move forward. Dude, America's so tight. We can do this together. I know we can, but sheesh. I mean, he made a lot of great points, and you know, I'm kind of rambling right now because there was so much in there, but I enjoyed it. Overall, I enjoyed it. I'm going to go listen to this a few more times. There's some gems in there. I really did like this. Shout out to Tom MacDonald. I enjoyed it. I hope he keeps, you know, I feel like regardless, like even if there was something he said I didn't agree with, I just like he gets the conversation started. You know, I see all the different types of people that react to him on the internet too, and it's super cool. It's very eclectic. It's really cool. So let's get the conversation started. Essentially, I feel like the deeper meaning behind this song is just simple. It's like, yo, come on, you guys. Quit being separated by race, sex, gender, all this nonsense. Let's come together. Let's make America hot. Let's make America what again? Got him. Anyways, yo, you guys, appreciate you tuning in. If you want to check out some of the music on my channel, I have some dope music. I think you guys, if you're rocking with this, I have a song called He-Man, Black Panther, and Freedom of Speech. I think you guys might rock with those. I could use your support on streaming platforms, you know, and all that good stuff. Just put out a new album, Love of the Game. Got a lot of cool reactions on this channel, a lot of interviews, stuff like that. Shout out to Tom and Nova. I actually have a kind of relationship with them. I brought them to Colorado Springs for a concert before they super blew up. He was already popping. The show was like 300 plus kids. It was super dope. But now he's probably, you know, sell thousands of tickets. So shout out to them, man. I hope they're doing well, and I appreciate that he gets the conversation started. That's super dope. Anyways, it's your boy, the one, the only, Black Pegasus from the 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. If you like what I do, like, share, comment, but subscribe so I can get to 50K subscribers, then 100K, and then we got that plaque, even though YouTube is the haven for not free speech. But hey, man, count your blessings. I'll see you on Rumble too. I'll talk my shit over there. Let's go. 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ.